Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where we get better at Magic together through a new draft video every weekday. Over the weekend, I was traveling and unfortunately didn't record this, but I climbed my way up to Mythic number 584. And to be honest, after the grind, I'm kind of feeling a little bit tired of Premier Draft. So I think I'm going to do some traditional draft today. In the last run that got me up to Mythic, I went 7-1, and the one game that I dropped, someone did turn 3 Tablet of Discovery into turn 4 Emeritus of Ideation. And after that, I kind of felt like, okay, you can do that to me once, but can you do that 2 times? And if you find yourself groaning at things that are happening to you in best of 1, then I think best of 3 can be a very nice change of pace. So let's jump into that. All right, well, we opened, wow, actually, this is quite a pack, isn't it? Look at this. Okay, so Stirring Hope Singer, I mean, I definitely view this as one of the most powerful rares in the format. The fact that it allows you to buff your entire team as a bonus for doing things you want to be doing anyways, like casting removal, is just extremely strong. I mean, this card can completely take over the game. Having said that, we actually have a very strong collection of commons and uncommons here. I don't know that it would be that wrong to just pack one, pick one Scolding Administrator, to be quite honest, and Pestbrood Sloth and Divergent Equation are not that far behind that. And then in terms of commons, we've also got Elite Interceptor and Unsubtle Mockery. Every single one of these cards is a card that I would be happy to pack one, pick one. Every one of those uncommons and those 2 commons. And then I don't even know what Veil of Summer does. I'm guessing it's not relevant, but draw a card if an opponent has cast a blue or black spell. You know what? This is best of 3. Spells you control can't be countered this turn. I didn't even finish reading it. This is best of 3. I'm guessing I'm not supposed to take it, but it's not nothing, especially if it comes back to us on the wheel. That is a serious consideration. Okay. Repel Calamity is a fantastic removal spell. This restriction that it destroys a creature with power or toughness 4 or greater is really not much of a restriction in this format. It pretty much just always hits what you want it to hit. And then I'm not taking this too seriously, but it does actually go very nicely with Stirring Hope Singer. And then, by the way, Environmental Scientist and Strixhaven Sky Coach are both absolutely fantastic uncommons. I definitely believe, and in fact, the data strongly suggests, that people are underplaying Strixhaven Sky Coach in the white-based aggressive decks. This is one of the best uncommons in Lorehold, and I'm guessing in Silverquill as well, but I know for sure it is in Lorehold because I just looked that up recently. Just hitting your land drops and having an evasive card that pretty much is just a creature with flying, it's so easy to activate in the set, is just really, really good, even if you're not doing some kind of splashy converge thing. Having said all of that, I'm just going to go for Repel Calamity. I think it's, cheaper. It's a card that plays an essential role, and I'm not paying much attention to this, but it does go with my pack one, pick one, and is in probably the best color. Okay, what are we looking at here? So again, 2 uncommons. Wow, these packs have been very high quality. There are 2 uncommons that I have a very high opinion of, Paradox Surveyor and Strixhaven Sky Coach. Here, again, I'm just going to go with the Sky Coach. I think people should be playing this more. Basically, however much you're playing this, you should probably take it earlier and play it more often. I just had it actually in the Lorehold deck that brought me to Mythic and Premier Draft. And just being able to play out a flying creature that can get some damage in and also makes sure that I'm going to be able to play my turn 4 drop is so strong. It also kind of lets you play 16 lands in a lot of situations. And then also Shattered Sanctum is not nothing. If we could wheel this, that would be nice. But anyways, I'm definitely taking the Sky Coach over the Surveyor. It's not even close in this situation. However, I'm now definitely clocking that white is drying up a little bit. In the last pack, there was a Simic or Quandrix card that was our best card probably, other than the Sky Coach. And Sky Coach is of course colorless, so it's not reassurance that my colors are correct. So here, I'm not going to go for the Joined Researchers. I think that would be really leaning too far in the direction of our pack one, pick one. By the way, Stirring Hope Singer could actually be splashed in a Converge deck. There's no particular reason that you couldn't do that. The only thing is you do want to make sure that you're a pretty creature-based deck if you're going to play this. So, maybe not. But anyways, here, I think I'm just going to take Divergent Equation as the best card in the pack. I love this card as a top end, a curve topper, kind of a highly powerful effect that you can slot into a deck with a lot of spells and be very happy with. So I think I will just take that one. Okay, so it looks like we're doing a bit of a pivot, right? Again, essentially no white. I'm not going to take a Shattered Sanctum. Definitely not in the market for Honor-Bound Page here. So I would say it's between Quandrix Charm and probably nothing else. I think Quandrix Charm is probably the best card in the pack. These Quench effects for many, many sets now, I mean, going back to Tarkir Dragonstorm, probably even earlier, definitely in Avatar. In the last bunch of sets, whenever they have one of these quenches, it's really good. The fact that this does cost 2 different colors of mana does make it worse, but then it has several other optional modes. And in this set, you're gonna pick up a lot of fixing anyways if you're in the market for it, if you're trying to. So I don't think it's even that much of a downside that it costs 2 different colors. Here, I actually do have a very high opinion of Mana Sculpt. I just like cancel in this set. It does have an upside that, hey, maybe I can play my Strixhaven Sky Coach next turn off of the mana that this generates in some situations. But really, cancel is just good. The reason is it's good in most matchups. It's pretty weak against a go wide deck or a very aggressive white deck, but it's good against all of the slower decks, which is like a lot of what people are playing at this stage in the format. But here I'm just going to take Potioner's Trove. I'm absolutely in the market for this. If I'm playing a Quandrix Charmy, Sky Coachy, Divergent Equation-y deck, I'm definitely going to want at least one Potioner's Trove. And I find by now enough people are drafting 3+ color kind of converge soupy stuff that if you want the Potioner's Trove, you do have to prioritize it. There was a time in the format when they were coming really late. And at that time, I was getting like 3 Potioner's Troves in a bunch of my decks for the simple reason that I am a big believer in mana rocks. I always want mana rocks, even when they're not good. Mana rocks being, this mana-less style of 3 mana, colorless mana for an artifact that taps to add 1 mana. And then recently in a bunch of sets, they've been adding on something like some little extra bonus that you get. And I'm always a believer in those. I'm always higher on those, I think, than most people. And this is a set where it happens to actually be really good. So kind of got paid off there. Anyways, Quandrix Charm, I think, was just the best card in that pack. Now, Knockout Maneuver is a tough one because it doesn't look like we're heading for a highly creature-based deck. This Hope Singer was just our pack one pick one. It wasn't really a signal that a white go wide strategy is open. We do have double Quandrix Charm, which really makes me want to invest in being able to afford the mana cost. I will say Knockout Maneuver and Cost of Brilliance are both very good cards, but they're good cards in a highly creature-based deck, and I don't think that's where I'm headed. And wow, now we are wheeling Divergent Equation. Now let's see if Veil of Summer is something I want for best of 3 purposes. Draw a card if an opponent casts a blue or black spell. Spells you control can't be countered, and they gain hexproof from black and blue. Yeah. So this just blanks a blue or black removal spell. I wish it said protection. Blue or black removal. There's not a lot of blue removal. It could blank like a run behind. I don't think it's good enough. If it were a little bit better, I would actually take it. But I just don't think it's quite good enough. Okay, so I'm not going to take the Stone Docent because I highly doubt I'm going to be banned. It's very likely now with double Divergent Equation, double Quandrix Charm that I am going to be Quandrix. I do prefer a slightly more creature-based Quandrix deck unless I'm going the full converge. So here, I guess I'll just take Hungry Graphlon among all of these similarly not very good cards. And then I'll probably just take a Wild Hypothesis. It's technically a creature. So I think the Landscape Painter is better than the other cards, but what else are we seeing going on here? I mean, really not that much. It seems like blue and green are very clearly the colors that I'm supposed to be in. Wow, another Stirring Hope Singer. That's almost insulting. I mean, what do? I really don't want to invest in a Stirring Hope Singer, which does not look like it's going to match the deck that I'm in, even though, again, this is one of the best cards in the format, period. It really looks like that's not the direction that I'm going. So even though this is a big step down in terms of power level for my specific deck, I might go for the Mana Sculpt. The thing that gives me pause about that, though, is that I already have 2 counter spells. So do I really want another counter spell? It's a very much kind of do nothing setup. Mana Sculpt, double Quandrix Charm, double Divergent Equation, and a Potioner's Trove. I mean, maybe I do just take the Stirring Hope Singer and splash it. Double blue is also kind of annoying if I'm hoping to get a little bit splashy with it. Honestly, I think I might just see if I can splash white. I don't really want to be Bant. That's the thing. I don't really want to be... So the thing is, green-blue is a color pair, but white-blue and white-green, neither of those are color pairs. So you really don't want to be like full 3-color Bant because you're only going to have 1 category of gold card. You really want to be in the 3-color set. I guess people were telling me this is a wedge, not a shard. You really want to be in a wedge, not a shard, right? Where you have 2 ally colors or whatever it is, 2 supported colors in the format. I'm sure I completely butchered that. But basically, I'm taking these Stirring Hope Singers on the theory that I might splash them. But I really want to limit my commitment to white. And I'm just speculating on this over Mana Sculpt. just to see where the packs take us. So now, of course, we are seeing white and black open. That kind of makes sense because they were so cut. We were even passing Quandrix stuff. So I think I'm just going to take a studious first here, though, because my assumption is very, very strong belief is that white-black is going to be cut coming from the right. So I'm going to go ahead and snap up a studious first here. I have not seen a single converge card so far as I can remember, which really makes me think that I am going to want to play a very creature-based version of this deck. So here, wow, there's really nothing for me. I'm not in the market for a Graphalon as much as I do love that card. So I guess I'll snap up a Spectacle Summit. When taking dual lands, I tend to want to prioritize dual lands that at least touch one of my colors, and this touches blue, which I believe is likely to be a primary color for me. It's not necessarily true that I'm married to green-blue. If I get a good enough reason to pivot, I will. But I think that's kind of where our bread is buttered right now. So here, it's a choice between something like Essence Scatter, which is a much better card, versus a creature like Shopkeeper's Bane or Fractal Mascot. To be honest with you, I kind of want to play a green-blue stompy tempo beatdown game. I think I want to be splashing some Hope Singers, and other than that, just playing stats to the board. I think Essence Scatter is way too much leaning into this whole counter thing, which I leaned away from already when I did not take the Mana Sculpt. So we're going to try to play green-blue mid-range with a potential small white splash. That's going to be the idea. I kind of like the Barrage Barrage as a removal spell here, but I actually think I'm going to take the much worse card of Terrafractal. We're just going to try to play Quandrix. By the way, Quandrix is slightly underdrafted at the moment. I really want to just get as many creatures as I can into this deck. Here I will, however, take Embrace the Paradox. This is a good enough card that it just does it for us. Okay, now I guess Deluge Virtuoso is a possible card to play. I'm not going to play Giant Growth. I'm not going to play the Biblioplex, so there's really not that much going on here. And probably I'll take Sleight of Hand over any bad creature. Cost of Brilliance continues to be really good. I mean, Zealous Lorecaster is also very good. So maybe I'm in slightly the wrong colors coming back from the right. But here I'm actually happy to take a Tenure Concoctor. Not a great card, but this goes with my game plan. My game plan is going to be just responsible mid-range beatdown action, okay? Let's just consolidate our curve a little bit here. I'll pass along a Render Speechless as a signal and just take the worst card in the pack. Just try to get someone into green, into white, black. And all the green cards here are very confusing to me because it really seemed like green was cut from the left. But you know what? We're going to do something that basically at this stage in the format, it's pretty much common knowledge that the green mid-range decks that do things like play Hungry Graphalon into Tenure Concoctor are just about the worst thing that you can be doing. Actually, don't mind Diary of Dreams here. Dig Site Inventory is a perfectly fine card. Okay, hello, Echo Casting Symposium. So what that means is, I mean, draft is self-correcting. I get to make decisions based on the knowledge that other people are probably avoiding this kind of strategy with a very strong preference to avoid it at this stage in the format. So that means that we might start doing things like, I don't know, wheeling Shared Roots or Studious first here. Kind of weird things can start happening when everyone is trying to avoid stuff. And I kind of like the idea of, I can get splashy enough that I'm not trying to be a hyper aggressive deck by any means. Most of my cards are going to try to come down on turn, you know, try to play a 4-drop ideally on turn 3 if I can get enough Studious First Years and Shared Roots, but at least on turn 4, and then just kind of outstats the opponent. I kind of like the idea of having some Stirring Hope Singers in that sort of a game plan. Here I'm just going to take a stock up. I mean, yes, there is a Shopkeeper's Bane in the pack, and I would like about as many of those as possible, but it's very possible that we're going to wheel that. There's a Terrafractal, Shopkeeper's Bane, Simone's Experiment, Run Behind. If I could wheel Shopkeeper's Bane, or I dare not even, you know, speculate on this, but Run Behind would be an incredible card for me to wheel here. Probably not going to happen. But stranger things have happened because we just got past Jadzi, Steward of Fate, which is a top bomb in our colors, Proctor's Gaze, which is almost a bomb, actually, especially in the Converge decks, which I think someone is cutting us out of Converge. But they're not cutting us out of Quandrix, and it's a fantastic card for Quandrix as well. And then Quick Study and Titan's Grave would both be nice pickups, but Jadzi is absolutely where it's at. I mean, Jadzi plus Stirring Hope Singer is kind of nice, right? Here, okay, I mean, the best card in the pack has got to be Burst Lightning. I think I'm potentially able to support a Thornfist Striker, specifically if I can pick up some Shopkeeper's Banes, maybe another Pterrafractal. I'm unlikely to play this Diary of Dreams. Technically, I could take the Burst Lightning and go for the red splash, but I kind of want to just focus on this white splash and be a pretty active deck. I would not mind more 2-drops, but Quandrix Charm is kind of a 2-drop if you think about it. Take that with a grain of salt. Here, I'll definitely take Studious First Year. I mean, the thing is, like, Studious First Year gives you something to do on turn 2, and Quandrix Charm is something you want to hold up mana for on turn 2. So I do think you can be a little bit looser about having 2-drops in a deck like this. That said, I would love to wheel this Fractal Mascot. I'm not even considering Zaphi, although that would be fun. So 27, that means I'm going to need to make 2 more cuts. I'll definitely take the Brush Off, even though Essence Knit Scholar and Rancorous Archaic, well, especially Essence Knit Scholar is awesome, but I can't play it. Rancorous Archaic is would be kind of nice for me. I do also think Stargaze is probably better in best of 3 because best of 3 is slower. I haven't looked at the stats on this directly, but I'm guessing that's true. And Rebel Rouser is like the 3rd best common in the format, so a bit sad to see it here. I wonder if I don't play so many Divergent Equations. I'll definitely take a Fractal Mascot, a Johnny's Response. Wow, so I don't know, maybe I was not supposed to be in these colors, but that's okay. I'm gonna probably not play the Thornfist Striker. I don't really like Landscape Painter, but I'll definitely play this Fractal Mascot. And then, okay, very happy to get this Shopkeeper's Bane back. I wouldn't mind Root Manipulation, actually, but that's not really what we're doing. I don't want to play the Deluge Virtuoso. We have more than enough white sources now. Probably not playing that Spectacle Summit because I don't even have any Converge cards. I do think that I still play the Potioner's Trove. Probably can cut 1 Divergent Equation. It's probably a little bit too little too late, let's say. And then what's the last thing? Maybe just cut a Hungry Graphalon or something. Probably that card falls into like a mid-range zone that's not so good. I don't know, it does kind of seem good to just play Hungry Graphalon into something else. Maybe I'd rather have a Pterrafractal than the Tenured Concoctor. I think that makes sense. Honestly, very happy to see a quick study here. Probably play that over a Graphalon. Well, we just get as many Graphalons as we want. I don't know. I do kind of want creatures. I still need to make 1 cut. Maybe it is Brush Off, actually. Maybe it is just Brush Off, because I already have 2 Quandrix Charms. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay, hey, you know what? Green Blue Stompy, this is actually one of my happy places. This is not like one of the consensus best decks in the format by any stretch. It's actually one of the consensus worst decks in the format. And I am playing some clunkers like the double Hungry Graphalon, but they're role players, right? I think they are role players in this deck. So we definitely want to go with 1 plains. Let's say if I can always have a forest, I'm going to be happy. And then almost always have a island. That sounds good to me. Now, how many creatures do I have? Do I need to get my creature count up a little bit? Okay, I swear I can spell. Do I need to get my creature count up at all? Should I cut Quick Study? Should I cut Quick Study for... I don't think I want the second Divergent Equation. Echo Casting Symposium means I always want... Do I actually just cut Potioner's Trove? Stirring Hope Singer 1, 2, 3. No, I think I do want the Potioner's Trove. I could cut Sleight of Hand for a creature. Sleight of Hand for a Pterrafractal or something like that. Nah, let's try this out. Wait, am I 8, 15, 16, 17? Okay. All right, let's try this out. Let's see how this goes. Remember, we can always sideboard. If we get 1 game loss, we haven't necessarily lost the match. All right, I will be on the play. Good luck, have fun, lumpin'. Ooh, I love this hand. This is like the best hand my deck is capable of. Our opponent did mulligan, but this is a traditional draft, which means there is no hand smoother. So you can literally get a 0 lander. Just like in Paper Magic, this thing we used to play back in the Dark Ages. Magic used to be a game made out of cardboard, and you would actually go to a store or like your friend's house and play it. I know, it's weird. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get this second blue for Homesickness, the Ultimatum, and definitely I attack because I can't even block. If they just play a land and attack with the Banemaker and I line up a block, they can just pump the Banemaker and kill my guy. So there's no illusion that I'm going to be blocking. I really don't want to just slam down the Hope Singer, to be honest, because it can just get killed immediately. But that said, what am I saving it for? I guess maybe I play Pterrafractal here, actually, is the real truth. I'll play a Pterrafractal for a slightly understated Pterrafractal. Basically, I'm just trying to get them to use a Last Gasp on my Pterrafractal, which looks like it might be succeeding given how they just highlighted their hand and then highlighted Pterrafractal. We shall see. We shall see. I wonder what these lands are a reference to. Someday I'll learn something about the Magic story. I've gotten this far without knowing anything about what's happened since, oh, Weatherlight or so. Are we attacking? I will not block. No, I choose not to block. You know, it might be, if this didn't have Death Touch, it might be like a really cool, you know, hardcore play to block and get them to pump and spend their turn on that. Okay, so I actually don't have an answer, but because it has Death Touch, I can't do that. So I actually don't have an answer for Nita, and it's kind of good against Homesickness. So you can sacrifice your Banemaker to exile an instant or sorcery from my graveyard, and you can cast it this turn. So basically just don't play instants or sorceries from my graveyard, right? From an opponent's graveyard. So they can't just play an instant or sorcery. I think I'll go with the Shopkeeper's Bane. I still have this fantasy that I'm going to get to double spell with Stirring Hopesinger into I don't even know what. Maybe that's a weakness I didn't think enough about in deck building, is like, how many cards do I actually have that target things? I know I have a few, but maybe I didn't put in enough to support the Hopesinger appropriately. Yeah, I'm just going to take that. Possible that if I blocked, they would have just sacrificed their Banemaker. But is this? No, you have to declare the target immediately. Okay. So this also buffs their whole team. All right, so basically, I'm hoping to draw something that I can play alongside the Hopesinger. And then I'm hoping that they don't kill my Hopesinger and I get to Homesickness. That's my game plan. So I'd like to draw something that costs 3 mana or less. Well, you know what? I didn't speak precisely enough, because that is something that costs 3 mana or less, but it does not fit the bill. So they have something to do. I'm guessing it's Wander Off. But if it were Wander Off, yeah, so they're going to Wander Off my Terrafractal, maybe? Wilt in the Heat. Okay, fair enough. Some 4 mana removal spell. Yeah, I was going to say, if it were Wander Off, maybe they would have done it to the Shopkeeper's Bane before attacks, so then it makes sense that they did it. So, okay, now here's the thing. I think I don't just hold up for Homesickness, because I just got them to use a removal spell. They might have another one, but I at least just got them to use one. And if I Homesickness them here, they could sacrifice their Banemaker. Okay, so they also had a removal spell for that. Okay, fine. I mean, I guess that's not too surprising. The thing is, to play Homesickness, they do need 6 mana. Oh, yeah, but I don't want them stocking up. So I could attack with both. I mean, if I do this, I actually have them on a 2-turn clock. So this sounds kind of good. They have to come up with some answer here. Oh, Jadzy's a nice draw. So in with both. I'm being very committal, specifically because I have a stock up. Also, Jadzy, I can go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I can make Jadzy and 2 2/2s next turn. That's pretty good. I feel like the fact that I'm motivated, oh yeah. The fact that I'm motivated playing best of 3 by talking about someone turn 3ing or turn 4ing Emeritus of Ideation against me, that kind of guarantees that someone's going to do that. Okay, so I kind of feel like just doing Echo Casting Symposium here. If they're going to kill Shopkeeper's Bane, they're going to kill it anyways, right? Presumably they can kill if they can't kill Shopkeeper's Bane, then I win no matter what. So let's start by copying my Studious First here. I think that's actually correct. Basically, if they can kill the Shopkeeper's Bane, I don't care about this Symposium not resolving. It's that they're just dead. If they can't kill the Shopkeeper's Bane, then they're just dead. And now the Echo Casting Symposium is exiled, so even if they had enough mana, they would not be able to play it with Nita. So I'll go ahead and get another blue, I guess, because everything seems to cost blue. And now I just have infinite Studious First Years. So this way I get a Studious First Year out of the deal, right? Or alternatively, they could have Foolish Fated my Studious First Year, but I don't think that. I think they were correct not to do that. Okay, so they are, they're like properly Mardu. Look, like red, white, white, black, black, white, red, white. Yeah, they're like full on Mardu. So maybe I want a sideboard to get one step faster or more assertive, because that's a pretty committal mana base. All right, I'll do myself and the non-token, I guess. Okay, I don't know that I want to show them that much more, but I think I kind of have to do something to push damage. I don't think overextending matters because I have a stock up and an Embrace the Paradox, so maybe I play Jadzi. Kind of want a Jadzi for 3 so that one removal spell is still lethal against them. I know I'm like thinking a lot about this decision when I'm pretty much I'm just like very far ahead, but I think it matters. Okay, Divergent Equation is a good one, and then I kind of like the idea of a counter spell. And Fractal Mascot would be nice, but I think I'm going to get a lot of creatures one way or another. All right, and then I'll do this. I know I'm playing it so embarrassingly slowly. So the thing about Divergent Equation is I'm kind of hoping that they're going to sacrifice the Banemaker to Nita to be able to play, let's say, stock up. And then I can bring it back. Or I could also Quandrix Charm. They're getting a lot of life. I don't know, maybe I've played this too slowly. If they have, they would need another land to be able to play stock up from my bin. Okay. I'm making so many studious first years. All right, so let's draw some cards, I guess. If I hold up Quandrix Charm, I don't think it matters that I'm giving them Nita options. I think we can spare some 1/1s. And then I'll probably just play a Hungry Graphalon, hold up Quandrix Charm. Oh, they did not block. I think that might have been a mistake. Like, I mean, I think they literally might have misclicked. They have to click through a lot of priority because they always have a Nita activation option. It looks like they're Raising Dead. Oh, Practice Scrollsmith. That's a good one. Yeah, okay. They're going to get a Foolish Fate probably. To Foolish Fate my Hungry Graphalon after I target it with the Echo Casting Symposium. Or just do it now. Okay, well, that's going to get Quandrix Charmed. I want my Graphalon. It's kind of fun, right? All right. So I do want to get more assertive against our deck. So did I misbuild on the targeting? Like, whoa, what was that? What's going on here? What's happening? Are you seeing that? Whoa, Quandrix Charm looking wild. Okay, so but basically for the Stirring Hope Singer, I have double Quandrix Charm. I have, what else? I have Echo Casting Symposium, and I have Homesickness. That's not that much. So maybe I need to also have what? Like Divergent Equation? Not Divergent Equation. Procrastinate? Oracle's Restoration? Yeah. No, I think I just live with that. It's a bit of a weakness of the deck for sure, but I think I just live with that. Okay, so maybe here I'm going to cut a Potioner's Trove for right now. For a, let's say, Tenured Concoctor. That seems like a card that could give them a bit of trouble. And I also wouldn't mind fitting in another Terrafractal. Is that better than Landscape Painter? Probably not, given my curve. I think being able to be the first off the bat is pretty good. Is it better than a Hungry Graphalon? Hungry Graphalon seemed to line up pretty nicely. Maybe I cut one Hope Singer? Probably not. Oh yeah, I could put in Fractalize to make the Hope Singers better. I don't think that's a very good move. Yeah, the whole Hope Singer thing is a little bit awkward because I didn't manage to get like run behinds or that kind of thing. Maybe I should have prioritized like that Lumen Pump Spell or whatever. Kind of a weird thing to prioritize. Okay, opponent is on the play. All right. I don't love my hand at all, but it's not terrible, right? Like I can go, unless they play something very scary right now. Pursue the Past. That's okay. It actually is pretty scary, but it's not a scary creature, which is mainly what I was thinking about. Then I can go turn 2 Quandrix Charm, now turn 3 Sky Coach, turn 4 Graphlon, turn 5 Embrace. So I have plans. Okay, that can get countered. Partly because it's a 3/3, but also partly just because of the whole surveil of it all. It's kind of scary. Okay, probably just want to get double blue down ASAP. It's an easy way to screw up, to forget to play the second blue. And then the Sky Coach, there we go, fixing me into my white. Very nice. So now any Hope Singers are gonna land. I don't know that they're gonna be any good, but they will land. All right, the opponent has all of their Mardu colors online. Flashing back Pursue, fair enough. They're playing a much more slower controlling game than they were last game. All right, Graphlon, let's screw up our coach and in for 3. Bonk. Oh my goodness, putting it down to 21. Why do I even bother attacking? Can't even get you below your starting life total. So the Sky Coach is definitely sitting there doing nothing for the moment. Oh no, Foolish Fate on the Graphlon. That's a little painful. Do I embrace the Paradox or do I land a Shopkeeper's Bane here? Kind of want to just embrace the Paradox. I think the sooner I can Divergent Equation that back, the better. I'm not worried about it getting countered, so I'll do it during their turn. And I think mana efficiency really matters here. Ramp and access to mana is a big deal. So now I could go 1, 2, 3 to Divergent Equation back the Quandrix Charm, and then I couldn't even counter it, so okay. Yeah, Nita's kind of good against me. Like, I'm scared of it. Now I really want to hold up Divergent Equation against them like forever. So they could go, okay, what's the best card? They could go like creature, sacrifice, like play a 1-drop, sack it, and then have 3 mana at their disposal to play something from my bin. Okay, well, I don't want to play stock up, but I don't even have that, so it doesn't matter. So go ahead and play this, play this. Unfortunately, I don't get to increment my Graphlon with the mana at my disposal. I'll tap the Shopkeeper's Bane because it's not blocking, and in with the Sky Coach, finally bringing them below their starting life total. And this is the green Stompy Timmy mid-range plan that does not work very well in this format. So let's see how this goes. Okay. At least they don't have like other creatures at their disposal for Nita. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Because the difference is only 1 more damage if I attack with a Shopkeeper's Bane. But I do actually, I'm not sure about it because I do gain 2. And this is kind of nice. Actually, do I want to copy the Sky Coach? I might rather copy the Sky Coach. No, I want to copy Shopkeeper's Bane because if they shut down my Bane, then I can no longer crew up the Sky Coach. And this lets me attack for 4 and also attack with the Sky Coach. But next turn, I probably will go for copying the Sky Coach. Because getting a land sounds really good. And then I'll probably just Sleight of Hand at this point. I don't really care if they play a creature, sack it, and get to play that from Nita. All right, that's 1 match down. Victory. Okay, honestly, so I was thinking about how like whoops, sorry, video off. I was thinking about how I slightly misbuilt with like the 2 String Hope Singers and not that many ways of targeting stuff. And I realized I just have this Repel Calamity sitting on the sideboard, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white sources. So I actually think I can support 3 white pips. I think that's fair enough. I could go down 1 island, up 1 plane, something like that, especially without the hand smoother. But I think this might just be a good way to go. And then maybe I cut like, maybe Sleight of Hand, honestly. A Sleight of Hand is kind of nice, but I think I just want to be playing a lot of creatures. Landscape Painter, for example, is a much worse card, or the Hungry Graphlon for that matter. But again, I think I just want to play a lot of creatures. So let's see how this goes. I'm at least interested in being experimental about this. And by the way, if you like drafting, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel on YouTube. I do post a new draft video every single weekday, especially focusing not just on gameplay like today, but getting better at Magic together. I love especially to dig into the data and share my thoughts on how to learn from data about getting better, not just to win this event, but to be more likely to win the next event than to win this one. This weekend, we're gonna have another Arena Direct. And so you know that before that Arena Direct, I will be combing through the data and pulling together all of the facts that I think will help you the most to be in the best position possible to win a booster box. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you are. All right, on to the next match. All right, yeah, okay, not what we want to see. This one's a lot better. You know what? It has a 2-drop and it has stock up. How could I possibly complain? So Landscape Painter on 2, stock up on 3, hopefully Hungry Graphlon on 4. Stock up is just not an acceptable card. All right. So now I'm definitely on the lookout for that white source. I guess if they mill my planes, it's bad for me. Oh, that's kind of annoying when I'm about to stock up. I'll put it on top to at least give myself the option. Because I wouldn't hate taking that from stock up. Honestly, do I just want all the action and neither of the lands? Yeah. Yeah, that's probably it. That's probably it. If there were a white source, I would have taken that. Stadium Title Mage. I wouldn't mind a plains now. So that can get me a plains, but at what cost? I could go Studious First Year Landscape Painter. Am I just losing to Stadium Title Mage? Actually, yeah. I think I'm gonna go for the Repel Calamity. Honestly, I kind of want to double spell with Landscape Painter. That's part of the reason. And also, I really just don't want this Stadium Title Mage to go off and just attack me. Stadium Title Mage is not a very good card in the format, specifically because it's so hard to get a lot of attacks in because removal is so plentiful. If you don't remove it, it's like ridiculously good. On paper, this is an extremely strong card. So you kind of do need to make sure that you're able to remove it. So I think I'm going to try to interfere with their game plan. And because Rampant Growth, by the way, it ramps you. It's what Rampant Growth does. I do only put myself 1 turn behind in actually landing the Graphlon. And now if I draw a blue source specifically, well, an island specifically, then I can go Landscape Painter and 5 mana to draw 2. Or I could have gone Terrafractal and incremented my Graphlon, but that option is no longer available to us. Hardened Academic, holy smokes. Okay, well, good thing I have an even bigger flyer than that. Do I just go Terrafractal? I actually kind of want to go Landscape. I'm not so afraid of the Hardened Academic. This doesn't look like they have a lot of academic synergies. We shall see, of course. But I can go Hope Singer. And now they kind of have 2 cards that they really want to deal with. And this is just such a good blocker against the Academic. I kind of like it more than landing the Terrafractal. Partly because if they use removal on anything, yeah, I'd rather it be that guy than the Terrafractal, although that would not have worked on my Terrafractal, so that's unfortunate. Now we're getting to the point where it's like, okay, so they just got their synergy online, and we're getting to the point where it's like, okay, now I actually have to start doing something, right? Because they've just gone essentially like removal, 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 which makes it really hard for me to execute any kind of a plan. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I just hope that they don't have a 4th removal spell. Is it Essence Scatter? Seriously? No. Oh, yeah, no, they don't have priority because of Rebel Rouser. They have something, but I don't know what it is. Oh, they also have priority because of Hardened Academic? Yeah, because they can discard a card. That's why they had priority. Okay. At least it wasn't Essence Scatter. So if they do have their 4th removal spell and can just crowd control me so effectively, then that's where my deck runs into trouble. Having said that, actually Hungry Graphlon looks pretty good against them, right? I guess it's not so good against Stadium Title Mage. Wow. Either they top decked Homesickness or they already had that, but holy cow, their deck is just 100% interaction. I mean, that's what like generic green mid-range is really bad against, right? When your opponent just has all interaction. Kind of shocking that they didn't remove something with the Rubble Rouser to give the Hardened Academic +1 and also add an extra damage to me. So that was a very nice gift from the opponent. All right, go ahead and draw 2. Also kind of shocking to get 2 lands there. And play a Shopkeeper's Bane. I mean, if we ever get to untap and have our creatures stick, I'm feeling fine, but they've really had an effective one. It's kind of like 2, 3, 4, 5 answers to creatures so far. If you can do that while also having card advantage, which is what they're doing, wow, and then another removal spell. I have a very hard time seeing how I'll manage to beat them in this match, because this is exactly the matchup that's really good against the kind of 1-for-1 green. And then they get another counter on the Professor. So if I can get Echo Casting Symposium, that would be good. Right? Not even though, because now the Pensive Professor can block me. Yeah. No. I don't really think that there are any draws that make this go my way. Maybe the 6/6, if I can get the 6/6 Fractal Mascot into Echo Casting Symposium. Homesickness is a very good start. So what is this? Ward pay 2? I think I do want to main phase this. Because who knows what I'm going to draw. I could have tapped down the Hardened Academic or the Rubble Rouser. But I think I want to get my attack in with Shopkeeper's Bane here and have it survive. Because it's gaining me almost as much as the Hardened Academic takes away from me. And then I'll probably just go for another Shopkeeper's Bane. Kind of keep them on their toes. I probably should have also attacked with the Landscape Painter now that I think about it. Because they're probably not attacking me with Rubble Rouser. So that was probably a mistake. Oh, good, a Lifelinker. Yeah. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, I mean, they just had... if you're like the Stompy, Timmy, you know, curve out and beat down deck, and your opponent has a whole bunch of 1-for-1 paired with card advantage, that's like the matchup that is the worst. Harmonized Trio. So I think I'm going to slim down to 2 colors and just try to beat down next game. That's enough information, right? They can go 4, 5, 6. That's enough info. I don't... So Harmonized Trio is a hard no for me. I don't sit there while my opponent's brainstorming unless I'm like very likely to to win, because brainstorm just takes forever. Okay, so I'm going to cut, and add 1. I'm going to play Sleight of Hand. I'm going to play Brush Off. I'm going to play Divergent Equation. And then maybe I play Tenured Concoctor. Perhaps I cut a Terrafractal for something, a Wild Hypothesis. No, that doesn't sound very good. Could play... I wish I'd had a Mind Bender Mage or whatever that's called. Honestly, I could play Diary of Dreams over Terrafractal now, maybe, or something like that. Or over Landscape Painter. Landscape Painter is so bad against them because of their removal. Let's go for something like this. Basically, what I'm doing is I just want to be consistently putting stats on the board. There's a universe where they're stuck looking at like Impractical Joke, a Braid, whatever. I didn't see a Braid, but I did see Impractical Joke against a bunch of like 3/4s. This hand is not going to do it, but this is a very Impractical Jokeable card. 1 mana trading up for 3, but okay. I mean, Fractal Mascot's probably good against them, but I just need to go pretty quickly, right? I just need to go pretty quickly. Landscape Painter. Okay, there's Echo Casting Symposium. Happy to see that one. So I'll definitely... I mean, this is like 99% chance that this just dies on the spot because their deck is mostly removal. There you go. It didn't die, but close enough. But I actually would trade the Shopkeeper's Bane for the Landscape Painter. Hold on. I sense a mana problem. I really want to hit 6 mana, but I still have a turn to do that. This is why Strixhaven Sky Coach is so good. Not being mana screwed when your opponent is mana screwed is a good place to be. Oh, nice. So I can go Sky Coach, guarantee that I'm going to hit 6, and hold up a Quandrix Charm. Take the action. And then I do not think that I offer the trade any longer. I would have offered the trade if they were on their mana, but now I'm not going to do that. I think it's just worth so much. I could Quandrix Charm, making my guy a 5/5 and trampling over, but I don't think that I do that. I think the counter is worth more. And then I want my Echo Casting Symposium to resolve next turn with a Shopkeeper, on a Shopkeeper's Bane specifically. Hopefully they don't have Force of Will. So funny to have to play around Force of Will. All right, I'll make myself a Shopkeeper's Bane. I will crew up the Sky Coach. This feels better, right? Basically just going for consistency. Their Fox is adorable. All right, that makes sense. Just keep themselves alive. I'm worried about them not conceding. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So that means that my Echo Casting Symposium does fizzle now this turn. Now I just need to keep representing creatures. Fractal Mascot, a lot of their removal does not deal with. Putting Hardened Academic back makes sense. Okay, I kind of want to stock up and see if I can't find a creature. Partly because then I can Divergent Equation after that. So probably take Embrace the Paradox over Homesickness. I don't know if they're going to be representing threats here. Yeah, being able to bring back the stock up is pretty good with Divergent Equation. Let's get a lot of blue. I feel like I'm going to need a lot of blue mana. So obviously Fractal Mascot would have been the more aggro move, but I kind of just wanted to see what cards I could get. Okay, that's fine. And honestly, I feel like this is a game that's more likely to be fought on value than me just aggressively beating them down. So getting full value out of the Fractal Mascot is probably good for me. Not to mention asking them to spend removal on awkward dorky things that I could pull off of the stock up rather than just playing, basically just playing one big dummy into this deck over and over is not a good way to win, right? That's the main thing about it. I want a variety of creatures. So I will make a Studious First Year. I will lock down your Spellbook Seeker. I will, yeah, okay. All right. Did I get info? The main info I got is like creature plane is good, just beat down. Maybe I even cut Brush Off and Diary of Dreams and just play more creatures. Do I play, how about Landscape Painter over Brush Off? That kind of felt good. I keep wanting more creatures in the deck. Is Landscape Painter the right one? Should it be another Graphalon? I don't think so. I don't want to be investing a lot of mana in creatures is the thing. And I like the idea of redirecting their removal to a creature that doesn't really matter. Yeah, I'd say that sounds about right. Probably better than investing in a Terrafractal. See, even in this matchup, I would not want that card that like gives my creatures hexproof from blue and black, right? Because all the removal is red. Or it does something like that. Don't quote me on what that card does. All right, well now I'm the one mulliganing. Now, okay, probably Homesickness is the odd one out here. They're not mulliganing, I notice. Okay, well, hey, Strixhaven Sky Coach might save us here. Oh, they're not mulliganing, but they don't seem happy with their mana situation. Rubble Rouser. Okay, that'll help. That will help. Now, I could play Jadzi, but I think I just want to hit my lands, play some Graphalons, that kind of good stuff, and get a blue. Yeah, my deck's probably as just a straight-up Quandrix deck. I liked the Hope Singer threat, but maybe this is just how I'm supposed to do it. All right, play a Graphalon. So now hopefully Jadzi can help me get to land number 5. And yeah, I'm happy to just go in. Okay, now they're on their mana. I do have reach creatures though. Wow, they actually have their synergy. the synergy with Hardened Academic is that they have they probably have multiple Rebel Rousers, but I've only seen one at a time. Kind of want to Echo Casting Symposium, which means I probably want a Jadzi right now. So Jadzi comes in. I don't think you can counter it. Jadzi comes in, try to get a land. Basically just trying to make sure that I get a land for next turn. Maybe I pitch Sleight of Hand. I kind of like the idea of playing Sleight of Hand, though. Do I just pitch the other Graphlon? Yeah, maybe. Echo Casting Symposium's really bad if all I have is Jadzi. Because it's legendary. Oh, actually, Landscape Painter is kind of good, isn't it? Quandrix Charm is kind of good as well. I like the idea of Landscape Painter when I have Echo Casting Symposium. And then I'm going to hold back this Sky Coach. I would like to have 2 blockers against this Hardened Academic. I feel like it could get pretty out of control otherwise. Okay, they're doing the thing. Makes sense. Okay, they get a counter on the Academic. So they do need 2 removal spells to get rid of both of my blockers. I would not put it past them to have 2 removal spells, given how their deck, I think, is like half removal, which makes sense. It's a sweet build. I like their deck a lot, by the way. I like their deck a lot. A little bit too much. I wish I were playing against a deck that I liked less. Let's just say that. So if they remove Jadzi, that's actually kind of what I'm hoping for. Because I want Echo Casting Symposium to probably hit the Graphalon. Harmonized Trio is really nice because I'm most afraid of getting Spell Pierced here. I guess an instant speed removal spell is pretty bad for me. So do I just Symposium my Graphalon? Symposium my Graphalon, suppose I have deal 4. Then next turn I have nothing to Symposium. So maybe I Oracle's Gift, but then I'm 1 short of doing it for... So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I get 2 2/2s out of the deal. That doesn't sound so great. So maybe let's just get a wider board. Kind of feel like a wider board is a good idea. To have more cards to Echo Casting Symposium. And I think I can be patient here. I think I can be patient. Let's see if I can get them to spend some removal. Not playing Echo Casting Symposium on turn 6 might also make them breathe a sigh of relief, thinking that I don't have it. And Pterrafractal for 2 is kind of a good number because they have to get more creatures in the bin. They have to get 2 more cards in the bin to bump their Academic to a place where I can't block it and kill it with the Pterrafractal. Now the question is, do I attack? And I kind of think yes. Let's be a little committal and just try to get... I just kind of want to get something out of them here. Because they're not doing anything right now. And I don't know if it's because they're still having mana problems. Like maybe all the cards in their hand are blue and they started stuck off of blue. Okay, I guess it could be. But basically, the situation I didn't want was I play Echo Casting Symposium. They have Unsubtle Rebuke or whatever it's called. Like anything like that where they can just kill my Graphalon. Then next turn, I cannot even copy my Jadzi. Yeah, this is what I'm hoping for. Even though they were tapped off of their counter mana, I think it was worth waiting for a turn. Now, this kind of scares me. Them tapping all of their creatures' main phase, they have something here. Maybe the 4/4 lifelink? Tapping all your creatures' main phase. That's scary. There's deal 2 to everything, but that only kills 2 of my creatures. I have another blue mana. Darn. So I think I might want to Oracle's Gift to just try to get counters out of their hand if they have that. Okay, all right, that's not a counter. Okay, awesome. That is a very scary thing for them to do, though, to tap everything and play this. Does that mean anything? What should we be thinking about that? By the way, sorry, I realize my videos may be a little big for you to see my Sky Coach. Let's shrink it down a little. Okay. Yeah, so what should we be thinking, my friends? Echo Casting Symposium. The thing is, like, so I want to Echo Casting Symposium the Hungry Graphalon and just make a big attack. them tapping down the 3, they would be blocking. Like Rubble Rouser would block Landscape Painter. I guess their idea is I'm not going to attack with Jadzi. Maybe they have like a +2/+2 and first strike, something like that. Because like, why would you tap all of this? Why wouldn't you do it during my turn is my question. Because Hardened Academic semi holds back Terrafractal. Rubble Rouser fully holds back Landscape Painter. You probably want the Spellbook Seeker to be able to block the Sky Coach. I actually don't understand. I'm just going to assume it's a combat trick. But I actually am not sure I understand. Maybe it's like a Braid or Burst Lightning, something like that. Well, I'm going to do the cheesiest thing I can possibly do. I don't really want Jadzi to get into combat. I don't want Landscape Painter in combat either. Yeah, I'm not sure I understand, but I'm just going to try to get the pressure on. Could there be some kind of a... I don't know. There's no board wipe here. Oh. You know, there is Winds of Abandon, actually, off of the bonus sheet. I don't think that's what's happening, but actually everything they've done would be consistent with that. So I guess off of the Mystical Archives, I mean, I guess that's something to think about. Winds of Abandon. I think they would need another white, if I'm remembering that card correctly. All right. If you kill Jadzi, that's perfectly fine. I actually want to put a stop on my first main, or on my upkeep. Homesickness. Yes. I actually want to probably Symposium my Sky Coach. What cards can I get back? I can get back a Divergent Equation. That's funny. That's actually awesome. Because I had to discard it, I can get it back. It didn't get exiled. Okay, you can gain lifelink. No, I actually don't want to... I actually want to copy a Graphalon, not a Sky Coach. Infinite Graphalons. You knew I had it in me, folks. My love of the Graphalon knows no bounds. 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I draw one more, I can make 3 3/3s, right? I need 7 to do that, and I have 6 right now. I'm getting hit for 7. Yeah. I didn't think about them locking down 2 of my blockers. Pretty sure I win. Oh, right. No, you have lifelink. Yeah. Of course. Somehow just spaced out when they were getting lifelink. Okay. Let us copy a Graphalon, I think. Do I do Vibrant Idea? No, let's do Oracle's Gift. Because even if they somehow have some kind of board wipe or something like that. I'm not attacking with Jadzi, am I? But even if they have a board wipe or something like that, I am going to lose my Jadzi anyways. So might as well use it. I don't know, is there a universe where they somehow managed to kill me? With like Hardened Academic damage or something? Perhaps I'm supposed to... Let's see, what would need to happen for them to just like kill me out of nowhere? So I'm effectively at 12 and the Academic can deal 5. If they can give it double strike with like bulk up and also have a removal. Bulk up plus a removal doesn't quite do it. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I wasn't trying to slow play them there or anything. I actually was trying to think about like, you know, when there's a Hardened Academic and they have access to 3 colors of mana, there's actually a lot to play around. Interjection plus bulk up or something, but they would still need to get rid of my Graphalon. All right, 2-0. I actually did not think that we were going to beat that deck. And you know what? We learned something here, folks. That's what you come to this channel for. We learned something, and I think what we learned is this whole Hope Singer thing, probably not where it's at. Maybe, honestly, what I'm supposed to do is just splash 1 Repel Calamity. But I kind of liked how that played out. I guess I liked how it played out because I got the Echo Casting Symposium, both Game 2 and Game 3. But maybe I just play like the other Divergent Equation. Yeah, maybe I just play something like this, and it's just a ramp. Just a ramp deck. Classic ramp. Maybe cut Potioner's Trove, and I'm going to play either the Tenured or Terrafractal. Terrafractal number 2. Let's just play Tenured. It's really good with Graphalon. And I'm just going to play Quandrix Ramp. I think that might be better than this whole Hopecaster thing, and I probably should have seen that before. Hopecaster, such a good card in a vacuum, but I just didn't really end up with enough support for it in my deck. Even if you count the Quandrix Charms, I don't really want to be using the Quandrix Charms to give base power and toughness 5/5, although that does sound like a pretty cool beatdown strategy. But let's see how this goes. I always have another sideboard if I lose this one. All right, I kind of like this hand, yeah. Kind of like this one. I'll keep it. The opponent did mulligan. So if I win this game, I actually do get 2 play-in points, and I think I have like 28 play-in points. Play-in points, by the way, allow you to play in a arena championship qualifier play-in weekend, I believe, is the whole story. Yeah, I'll go ahead and be proactive. My deck is highly proactive, so I'd rather play a 4/2 than hold up a Quandrix Charm. The dream of this deck is to go turn 3 Shopkeeper's Bane, turn 4 Hungry Graphalon, turn 5 something, turn 6 Echo Casting Symposium. Okay, you're wildly hypothesizing at me, I see. This is fine. If I draw another untapped land, I can still Echo Casting Symposium on curve. I'm happy to trade this off. I don't really mind. I have more beaters where that comes from. I could play a Quandrix Charm to make my guy survive the combat, but then I can't do anything else this turn, so I don't think that's exactly where it's at. So let's just drop a Hungry Graphalon. Tam. Well, would have been nice to be able to counter that. But it's not the end of the world. I would love to have a land after this. So let's go Graphalon to level up my Graphalon. The dream is real, folks. The Giraffe Army online. And yeah, in for 4. Bonk. So yeah, now hitting Echo Casting Symposium on curve would be the dream. The dream of a lifetime. Wild Hypothesis, make a 5/5. That's okay. That's okay. Looks like they did not have a land to activate Tam. Land is like the best draw for them. If I'm them, I'm probably wanting to put a land on top. Oh, that's kind of nasty. They could hop their guy at me. Okay. So playing this and ramping is a little annoying because I don't get to do anything else, and it even taps me off both of my greens, so I can't hold up Quandrix Charm. At the same time, I'm definitely just going to do it. Probably get another green after all that, right? After being tapped down off of my green. I'm still just going to do it because it's still worth it to just set up the land to be able to Echo Casting Symposium. All right. Hopefully I'm going to make the biggest Graphalon army you've ever seen pretty soon. That's the name of the game for sure. Okay, looks like they're not going to try to get into combat, which makes me happy. They are, but they tap down first. It's a little mysterious. I think I'm happy to just block, right? Pretty sure. My Graphalon has more potential, but their 5/5 has more like being good right now. And hey, my other Graphalon is full of potential. So let's level up this Graphalon and just drop a land. And then I'm going to be moosing it up pretty soon. Moose, moose, moose. Moose time. Is it an elk? Yeah, it's an elk, technically. I wonder if there are no mooses in Magic lore. Is it all just elks? Studious First Year comes down. Okay, Deep Sight. Gotcha. So they cannot ramp in growth because they've tapped both of their green now. Oh, you know what's funny? Is Studious First Year prepares the Tam. That's kind of cool. I'm not so concerned about the Ancestral Anger because I can just block the Tam. Wow, Best of 3 is a whole different beast from the Diamond 1 that I was grinding on the weekend, where everyone is... You see a much bigger diversity of decks over here, which honestly is... honestly, it's just more fun. It's just more fun. If you're not playing Best of 3 right now, I honestly recommend it. It's fun. All right. Graphy time. They don't have bouncing mana, but on general principles, copy the non-token. Maybe I don't even play the Moose, because I kind of like the idea of holding up Quandrix Charm in case I have something grotesque. I don't even know what they could have that I would be able to counter, to be honest with you. So if I play this guy, I'm crashing in for... I mean, it's so far from lethal, I don't think it really matters. Let's Rampant Growth right now. And then... just attack with these two. Basically, at this point, I'm winning in the long run unless they have something special up their sleeve. So I'm just trying to guard against that X factor, the possibility that they can take me over with, I don't know, like they play their own Echo Casting Symposium or something. All right, I can't kill them with Quandrix Charm, so let's not try to do that. Hold up the counter. Yeah, they are gaining life with Tam. I love Tam. This card's never good. Tam and Tamio was not good, but it's so much fun. I love trying to make it work. Flashback on Wild Hypothesis. Okay, I can already smell a Quandrix Charm coming down. Wild Hypothesis for 6. You know, there's a universe in which I'm not even supposed to counter this, because it's not making me lose. And in this situation, anything that doesn't make me lose, I probably actually shouldn't counter. But having said that, it doesn't seem like my opponent has like that much else going on in their hand right now. So yeah, my read was it was okay to counter. If I were like, you know, if this were a game for real stakes, I would actually not have countered that spell. Because I don't really care if you get an extra 6/6 in that situation. What I care about is that you're somehow gonna, I don't know, like play a Tidecaster and mill me out, that kind of thing. So I kind of wanted the game to move to a conclusion at that point, but if you're playing for a lot of money, I think you should not spend the counter there like I did. Honestly, no notes. I think my deck is just good for the matchup. Like, my thinking here is not like I'm too lazy to sideboard. It's more like I'm playing the most Timmy-ish, statsy, just green curve out version of the deck. And I think that's appropriate here. I think I have the advantage of like consistency probably. And the disadvantage that their card quality could be very good if I give them time to like set up a TAM and start like generating tons of advantage and that sort of a thing. So I think I just want to stay with the very consistent version of the deck. Probably blue is going to be more important than green, it looks like. Okay, so next up, I need to play Forest into Landscape Painter, I'd say. Sounds about right. I love this bear. Huge shout out to Mariah Tikulvi. Great art. It's so iconic for such an iconic card. Landscape Painter, and then holding up Quandrix Charm. Next turn, I can stock up or Tenured Concoctor or Vibrant Idea. We'll see what the situation calls for. Honestly, my inclination is to Vibrant Idea because it has an expiration date on it. And if I'm going to do that, then I want to spend Quandrix Charm because I'm going to have 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, I'm not going to be discarding, but that's okay. I'm actually going to spend the Quandrix Charm here anyways. Not that I care too much about Deluge Virtuoso, but I don't really want them to get a board advantage over me at any point. All right. Could play Strixhaven Sky Coach, but I think it's just Vibrant Idea time, and then let's get into combat. I like the idea of having more cards. Fair enough. I don't mind that. So next turn, maybe I go Sky Coach. Oh, that's awkward. I feel sorry for my opponent. They're stuck on green mana. So I'll take that action. I'll go grab myself an island. I'll play the island, and then I'm not going to have to discard, am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, so this is fine. Jadzi sounds good. Embrace the Paradox actually sounds awkward, but it's probably good. It's probably still good. And you're not going to block, so. And I guess I'm the beatdown. I guess. All right, Rampant Growth. For a mountain, sure. And then I'll play a land. I kind of want to play the Graphalon, but then I don't really have anything else that I want to do after that. So could I go... I mean, I guess I could go Graphalon Jadzi and just give them like a lot to think about. So let's play the Graphalon first to bait Essence Scatter, although I don't think they have it because they haven't had it the last few turns. play Jadzi, draw some, discard some. Maybe I should have done that first in case it changed anything. Probably pitch Paradox Garden and Divergent Equation, because this Divergent Equation can get back that Divergent Equation. Nasty, nasty, nasty. This is 4. Okay, so actually maybe I should have kept the Paradox Gardens, because next turn I can make 3 3/3s off of Jadzi. And playing a tap land doesn't change that. So actually it probably very minor blunder holding onto the forest instead of the Paradox Gardens. But okay, I think we're in good shape. Play a land. Play this for 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3. X equals 3. Yeah, should have kept the Paradox Gardens. That was a mistake. My bad, everybody. But we're still crashing in for a good amount of damage here. Bonk, bonk, bonk. And they have to have something pretty special to get me. All right. Clean 3-0. I dropped 1 game in there, right? I think. Did I drop a game? Yeah, I dropped 1 game. Oh, dropping a game kind of sucks because in Secrets of Strixhaven traditional draft, I've won 12 games and lost 1. So no, my perfect record. Well, anyways, that was fun and I got some playing points. All right, thanks so much for watching, everyone. Hope you had as much fun as I did. Until tomorrow, have tons of fun playing Magic and don't be afraid to splash.